Right.
Hello and welcome. This channel is one of the busiest YouTube channels you will ever find. So please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't do that, that's silly. We're too old for that. We are so rough because we are so tired, but we were just flopping to just chill out, looking like poo bums, to watch the telly. And we noticed that the Kardashians trailer is here, so we've got to react to it.
It's been a big day for trailers. Transformers.
Let's have a look. What are they going to offer us this time?
So this is the Kardashians season 3.
Ooh.
I'd be lying if I said I remembered where things were left. Were we left on a cliffhanger?
Cliffhanger, we must have been. I can't remember what it was.
Who's where and who's what? Who's at what place
I
in there?
literally can't remember. I know Khloé had just had the baby boy.
Right.
And we didn't know the name.
Right.
And Kylie had just had her baby boy and we didn't know the name.
Right. Has Kris had a baby boy?
Kris hasn't had a baby boy.
Right.
And neither has Kim.
What's happened to the man who licks everyone?
They are fully married and
That's
he's still
right.
licking.
But have we
and
seen their marriage?
He broke his finger, and which
That's
is
right.
quite bad because he's a drummer.
They did their
He's
first
had
gig
more
at Coachella,
tattoos.
didn't they, this year?
Yeah. He had more tattoos.
Where?
Oh, I don't know, somewhere where there wasn't one.
His shiny head.
What was Kris up to? Kris had had a hip done.
Oh, she was very emotional, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She'd had CBD gummy bears.
She
and was
wanted
in
to be
hysterics.
old. Yeah, she got stoned.
Yeah,
Last one.
That's right. What's happening for Kim?
Kimmy.
Pete Davidson, he's gone.
No, did we see her finish with him in the...
Yes.
Oh,
maybe
I
we
think they
didn't.
might have still been together.
So maybe we've got
Will we
that
see the
to come.
breakup?
Also, I wonder whether the whole American Horror Story, her becoming an actress, might
Yes, that will be in here.
happened earlier.
Kylie, we didn't see too much of her last series. Kendall, we hardly saw anything. Is the last series where Kendall sliced a cucumber? Because that was big news for about a
Sliced
year.
a cucumber. Oh, yeah. And the other news was, what's the name of the erstwhile former sort of partner of one of the girls who's a bit druggy, has been sort of muscled out, every now and then would appear, but he was a bit kind of...
I think he'll be gone.
I think he's gone. I saw a piece about that.
Oh.
Saying that he's been completely put out
Has
to
he?
dry. Even I saw that.
Well, they won't have put him completely out to dry because they're really ones for keeping in contact for the sake of the kids, but he's obviously just not on screen anymore. That would be very difficult for him.
Yeah, but
Why can't we think of his bloody name? The Duke.
Scott.
The Lord.
Scott.
Scott. The
How
Lord.
do I remember that?
It's
Why is
retired.
he called
It's
the
late.
Lord? Well, I'm not. Why is he called the Lord?
Because he named himself the Lord because he had deep insecurities and low self-esteem and drug problems.
The Lord. Anyway.
But he was funny. He had a very dry wit.
Yeah, but before he was...
Do you remember when Kim said, I'm thinking, or somebody said they were going to have their bum reduced, and he said that they would all lose their fortunes.
Yeah. Well, they're all getting their bums reduced, though, aren't they?
I don't know.
I think they are. They're getting all sucked out, and then they'll keep it in a bag.
But
and
also,
then they'll have it all
Khloé
pumped back in
had
again
her
in about
skin
6 years.
cancer scare, so presumably we're going to see something about that.
Okay. Well, let's check it out,
So
shall we?
let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
I wonder if Khloé's still got ludicrously long nails with a newborn baby.
Is Khloé the one I like?
Yes.
Is she the one with the melanoma?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's changed over time, hasn't she?
She looks completely different.
They
She's
all
great,
have.
though.
They all have, to be honest. Kimmy. Let's have a look at you, darling.
I don't even know where we left off. You were still in a relationship. I was? Yep. Damn. Things changed really quickly. You okay?
It's
not okay.
Oh, darling.
Oh, sorry. I'm just so sorry.
I'm really good at being calm when there's turbulence, but this has been a whirlwind of a year.
Today, your divorce was final.
Yeah.
I don't know how Kim handles everything with her ex-husband.
I don't think you realize the weight of the world is on your shoulders.
He has made up the most insane narrative. We stay silent through all the lies.
For my kids. Mom just told me that it was melanoma.
This on her face is very concerning.
Oh
I
my
don't think
God.
I've seen you this low.
She doesn't sleep. She's lost a lot of weight.
Melanoma is deadly. This was way more serious than I anticipated it
Wow. That is serious.
Have you talked to Kourtney about Mom?
My sister used my wedding as a business opportunity. She's met livid.
She felt like her wedding vibes were like stripped from her.
I'm really confused how this narrative came into her head. Like, I couldn't have been more mindful. I said, don't do anything that Kourtney wore to her wedding.
I see both sides. Yeah, I see both sides.
People think that's a misunderstanding. It's not. It's who she is to her core.
You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
All of us just need to have a bigger conversation about the beauty standards that we're setting. I don't want my daughter to do the things I did. I wish I'd never touched anything to begin with.
How's everything going with Tristan?
Where do you guys stand?
I think he thinks, and let's just ride this out.
But no chances.
We know how to have fun together. We know how to be there for each other. But only at a superficial level.
What? This tension goes way back. Family is what I value the most. So I just feel very anxious.
I just don't think everything's gonna be okay.
Oh, wow. If the series is half as good as the trailer.
Did you hear that little bit at the end? There was a little bit of a little bit of a wah-wah guitar.
Well, no, I wasn't really listening. I don't care about the wah-wah.
No, the wah-wah guitar kind of gave it an
I care
extra
about the fact that
edge.
Kylie is talking about the beauty standards that they have set, realising her power, the power that they've had, because she's had a lot of surgery on her face.
Do you not think they're now pivoting towards the next money-making opportunity,
Well-
which is to reverse everything they've told you to do?
I genuinely don't think they're bad people. I really, really don't think they're bad.
No, I don't think they're bad, but they're running a business.
I don't think they're a bad... But business is business, isn't it? Do you think that they all sat down and went, right, let's have this plan? They've fallen into everything and they've had enormous good luck. They've had very good management. They've had amazing PR. And maybe they've got to a point and they've gone, wow, actually, we've set ourselves so high up, we're only going to fall.
I think
And what are you thinking?
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's possibly how it started. But there's a lot of people who question whether that first sex tape and everything else. If you look at the documentaries about the Kardashians, there's
I'm
the
not
clip.
talking about sex, I'm talking about their beauty
No,
side of it.
bear with me. I haven't finished my thought. That being the first step in their story, that every single step after that has been a considered move towards this profile, this wealth, this and what have you. And that, yeah, they're humans living their lives, but at the same time within that, because their lives, and I find it really interesting, the contradiction between them doing a reality show, it has to deliver drama. So the first thing I'm trying to do when I see even the sisters having this sibling rivalry is I'm putting like a microscope over it going, is this real, or are they all really sort of embellishing a small feeling to make it a large dramatic feeling? Because actually there's not an awful lot that could be dramatic in their lives to make a series watchable.
Well, I've watched for years, and the one thing I would say that I am sure about them is that every time they're feuding with each other, the girls, that's the realest time. You'd have to be phenomenal actresses, you know. I mean, Kim and I can't never remember the boring one's name. What's her name?
Boring one. But they're never.
But you know, physical fights. You know,
Yeah,
and I've always believed in the breakups.
But that's my problem. That's my problem with it. And I think this becomes a baked-in problem with being a reality star. This is on a scale that's like off the radar.
I find
So
the Kardashian episodes are very like, you get moments of real, like those arguments will be real. They're real when the sisters fall out. And then you get them going off to do cupcakes or going off to get stoned or rebuilding the pool house. And that's all the setup stuff. And I can't be doing with all that baggage around it, choosing a new sofa. But I think when you see them in themselves, you'd have to be brilliant actors. But just more going back to the point of the beauty thing, yes, it could absolutely be the next business thing because they're saying, oh God, people are really turning against us.
yeah,
for
they're
the
surviving.
standards.
They need to survive.
But again, you know, Estee Lauder will have changed and evolved many times over the years. Or you think of all the big beauty brands, and she's a billionaire beauty brander.
Yeah.
So when Sainsbury's suddenly start reducing their sugar in their baked beans, if it's business, why do we get angry when it's business?
I'm not angry
no,
about
I'm
it.
just saying just generally as a
No,
question.
but I suppose it's not angry, but I think that a lot of people are brought in. Yeah, we can have this knowledge of it. I'm sure lots of people watching now going, yeah, this is why I don't like the Kardashians. Yeah, it's got to be. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people sort of, you know, consume them and buy them and look at them and think, oh, this is real.
But I think if they're going to say now, we have to think about the impossible beauty standards.
Yeah, they're damned if they do,
set.
damned if they don't.
And people say, oh,
Yeah.
right, here we go. Well, how can you win?
No, you can't.
Yes, you've been a part of something which has caused a lot of anxiety in a lot of girls. But I don't think for a minute they set out to do that. I really don't think. Now, they might have turned a blind eye at one point when the billions were really coming in, for sure. But I would challenge most people to say that they wouldn't have done the same when things are rolling good. You know.
Final thing I would say is that lots of men referred to in that trailer. Lots of the backs of Scott was in there. The back of the Lord was in there. Tristan was in there. I mean, men are pretty weak creatures in the Kardashians, aren't they? They're very subservient to the narrative, and yet they cause so much carnage.
I found the men incredibly weak because they are weak.
Yeah.
They whimper around, they cheat, they lie. And actually, what I see from the Kardashian women, of course, it's their program, of course, it's da-da-da. Yeah. But again, I think there's only a point to which you can pretend. And actually, the men never say anything bad about them. It's only Kanye that's ever screamed and shouted.
True.
It's because he's still in love with her. He didn't want to split up with her. But I think they cheat, they lie, they use drugs, they drink, and those women stay stable with them for the sake of their children. I think that's the thing I like about them most.
Yeah, but I'd love to know what happens off camera in the toilets with the Kardashians. The final thing, I really felt really bad because I did laugh at the Pete Davidson moment on the bed, but it felt such an LA. It was a bit
I tell you what,
but I felt bad. I felt bad.
A real problem when people have Botox is when they cry, it doesn't look believable.
Because they go,
because the face. I mean, you'll see it with a lot of actresses, and they go to cry, and you're just like, oh my god, that looks so fake, and it's not. Or they might be really crying.
It's really odd because what you see happen is a twinge kicks in here as they're willing their face to have a facial
No, they're not willing.
expression.
They're not thinking about their face.
No, they are. They can't.
No. They're not willing because they're not aware of it. But when people are looking at them, it looks like that.
So, like, if I was Kim, and then tell me that Pete Davidson's left me.
Pete Davidson's left you. Yeah, exactly. So it looks like a false cry, but it's not. It's just.
Okay, and I felt bad about that. So
I mean, in my opinion, she's never said.
Okay, well, I have to say that was quite dramatic.
I'm looking forward to it. When does it start?
Oh, and also we haven't mentioned what about the bloody the
awful.
tumour?
But now
That's
is
awful.
extremely serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not a precancerous. That's a melanoma.
That's serious.
That is very, very scary for her.
Bloody hell.
And on her face.
I know.
Oh my God. Put on your sunscreen, folks. Jeez. And if you've got a mole, like, look at this mole. This worries, where is it? This worried me and worried me. Look at it, it's so dark, it grew so big. It's got a circle around it. And I put it off and I put it off and I put it off just because I was so frightened. Well, if I had continued to put it off and it had been cancer, I'd have been a bloody goner. But luckily, eventually went to see cancer specialist. He looked at it like that. 2 said, oh no, that's not cancer. Just immediately. So if you're worrying about it, do something. And this is going to really raise awareness.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh my God, this really is. Hey guys, please have a look around the channel. There's lots going on here. We upload something almost every day, whether it's trailer reviews, movie reviews, TV reviews,
travel vlogs, family vlogs,
cooking,
you know,
and a daily coffee morning show where we do the news and life and all of that. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can always know when we are uploading or live.